Hello and happy summer. I'm Carrie Piper, and if you're a teacher like me, you might already be thinking about next semester or next year for planning your classes. First thing I do is if I already have a spreadsheet all set from a previous semester, I make a copy of it and rename the copy the archive. Then the original one, I rename the next semester I'm going to be teaching that prep. So you can see here that these are all 2022 dates. I need to update that for next semester. So first thing I do is I take a look at our calendar and I pop in all of our teacher work days, early release days, anything that's special going on. Then I fill out with all the rest of the days in the semester. So actually I do this a little backwards. First thing I do is I fill in all of those days. And you don't actually have to write out each day. If you start, for example, if I want to know the days that I got left before school starts. So 2022, I can just take that one date and take that corner, drag down, and it's going to populate all of the days in order. The next thing I can do is, for example, today is Friday. We got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Whoops, I don't need another Friday. I can highlight those. And if you highlight all of those days of the week and fill down, it'll add those in order in chunks. So that can save you a little bit of time. Now you can see that when I'm looking at the days that I'm going to be teaching, there's no Saturdays and Sundays. So what I do is I sort by those days of the week. And again, I wouldn't have this in two separate places. This would be how I'd start out. But if you sort sheet by that column, then you can take those weekend days, right click, delete those whole rows, and get rid of those days that we're not teaching. The other thing I do is I get rid of, so again, then sort by a subject, get rid of or cut the days when we have any day like a holiday or a vacation day, because kids aren't going to be in school then. So I'll delete out those rows as well so I don't have to look at them. I do want to keep our early release days because even though it's a half day, I still got to teach and I still have something to do with our students. So if I come on back, I'm going to be teaching APES next in the spring, not the fall. So I'm going to take our fall dates all the way down. Doesn't really matter how far I go. Those are the only days I got. And I'm going to come into here and paste those on our first day. You'll notice that I have an extra day in here of how to use the site, which I'll just use a day before our first day of classes, because I want that to be the first one students see on my site before they're looking at what we're doing. So for example, our first day of classes is on January 30th. So I'm going to call this one the 29th and 2023. So I don't have way too many dates displaying. And that's actually like a Sunday or something like that. So then I have all of these. Now, one really important thing to do is make sure that all of these are actually formatted as dates. So you can see right now it's saying automatic. I want to make sure it's a date. So click that date button right there. Now, if you come on over to where I have this website feeding into, you can see that these are the 2022 dates. If I hit refresh, give it just a sec to reload and display everything. Here we go. Here's those 2023 dates. So we're all set. Now, if this is the first time of you using an awesome table, what you want to do is go to awesome-table.com, sign into your Google account, and then you will be able to select your sheet. So what that's looking like, if we come over here, let me back up here. So you would select the sheet. In this case, I want to show my apes one. If I was doing this for one of my other preps, I would choose that other spreadsheet. So for example, click it, select, and then you'll be able to see that sheet. You want to make sure that the data sheet where you have what you want to display is there. So for example, mine is called answers. That's kind of the default for Awesome Tables. So you can see that we've got this column, or sorry, this sheet called answer within our workbook. If you're unfamiliar with this, templates is how I display things on my site. So the different colors, the different pictures, where things are, what kind of order I display it in, and all of these are pulling off of that answer sheet. So I want to make sure that I got answers right. I want to make sure, if we go all the way over, that the columns are also included there. So I can even change this to X. Just make sure that all of your actual data is within that range. So once you've got that shown, if you click embed, you can embed it a couple different ways depending on what kind of site you're putting it in. So direct link, iframe, script, you can double check to see how it's going to display for your kids. So if they're accessing it on a mobile phone or desktop, you can do that. So for example, I always try and include 3 across if they're looking at it on a laptop, 5 down, or 3 down, just so that it's not, they don't have to scroll and scroll and scroll, and it's not trying to take everything at once to slow down how long it loads. So if we go back to sheets, if I need to edit this sheet, that is right behind my recording button. But if you hit edit, know that in Google Sites, you can just paste that on in there. Now, we're not done yet. So, for example, if I come on over to Canvas and I want to roll from one semester to the next, I'm going to click on that APES prep. And I taught APES last semester, as I said, so I'm going to import existing content just to speed things up a bit. So copy a Canvas course. I'm going to copy my course from last semester. Looks good. And all content. I'll eventually need to adjust dates, but I really don't care about that right now. So I'm just going to hit import. Queued. It's going to take a little while, but it'll eventually happen. So when it does, and you click edit, you can just go, so for example, if I want to just paste this down here, you can insert whatever you want. So different little goodies. If we look at the ... you got other things you can import. And for example, that little cloud, I'm just going to paste in that embed code from over in Awesome Tables. Okay, so you can do that way. I'm not quite done yet because I also need to update my syllabus. So on my syllabus, I include what units we're doing and when we're going to do them for my students. So instead of trying to count the days and figure out when we're starting the units and all of that, we can just come over here and from the answer sheet, I created a new sheet with a pivot table. Now, if you've never used a pivot table before, what this is doing is it's taking different categories or filtering your data however way you want. So for example, I wanted to take each of my units and I wanted my units to show. I wanted my start date, so the first day of that unit. I wanted the last day of that unit, and I wanted a count of how many days were within that unit. So, for example, I've got my intro all the way down. If I copy to the final exam, we've got all of our days in there. So I can copy that into my syllabus right here. Oops. Paste. And let me just adjust that text size. And now my syllabus is done. So I hope that helps you guys planning from one semester to the next. Do be aware that you are going to have to shift some of your days. Perhaps you have more days to teach, so you want to add those days in there, insert a row, delete out those start date, day of the week, day. So that's going to shift up those days wherever you put them. So for example, if there's a snow day or whatever, you can just add and delete days within the spreadsheet to help you with your planning and adjusting as the semester goes on. So good luck with planning. Have a great summer and enjoy.